How to spot quality clothing even on a budget. Ever bought something that looked amazing in store but fell apart after one wash? I'm going to show you how to tell if clothing is of high quality before you even buy it, so you can build a long-lasting wardrobe without wasting any more money. And the fifth one is the biggest giveaway of poorly made garments. The first one is fabric composition and the truth about quality. Not all fabrics are created equally. Look for natural fabric if you look for warmth, such as wool. If you look for fabrics that move, such as silk. If you look for fabric that are breathable, look for cotton. They tend to feel better on the skin and they last a lot longer. If it's a blended garment, do aim for about 80% natural fibers and then 20 synthetic. This is the point where I would recommend you to stay away from synthetic. However, I do think synthetic garments do have a place of their own. Like if you wanted to have more of a brighter pattern like this garment, if you want it to have brighter colors. Sometimes with dyeing natural fiber can be a bit tricky, so I don't think avoiding natural fiber is the way to go. I do like some synthetic in my clothing just because I like the way they move. I like some frills. I like just a bit of variety. I don't just like natural fibers, but if this is something that you look for, then perhaps consider staying away from synthetic. Tip 2, your hands can tell a lot about the quality of the fabric. Heavier fabric does tend to be a bit more warmer, like cotton, like denim than polyester fabric. So the weight of the fabric does also play in consideration. So be considerate of the garment that you're buying and the fabric that you should have. A dress should have a flow, or if it's a winter dress, then it's obviously going to have some natural fibers that are a little bit heavier to keep you a lot warmer and to keep the structure. If it's a thinner fabric, it's not going to keep you as warm. And it might actually lead to a lot sooner wear and tear. I do recommend to shop in store if that's a possibility, because you want to feel the fabric and you want to see how the fabric reacts next to other fabrics being rubbed together, if there's any bubbling, and you want to feel it. Fabric feels nice on your skin. Some people can't stand natural fibers and that's fine, but having a feel for the fabric does tell you a lot about the garment. If you're going to enjoy it having it on your skin, do you need to have something else that is going to be protecting your skin and protecting the garment? Something to consider. Things to avoid. Is it scratchy? Is it paper thin? Is it see-through? Garments like that do tend to be of a lower quality. I recommend to put your hand through the garment and just see if you can see the outline of your hand. Is it going to be transparent? Is it very sheer? I just think about, is it a no-go and where you're going to wear that garment if it's appropriate. Tip 3, look for stitches and look for seams, how they have been constructed. Some of them are a dead giveaway for the inside of the garments. Stitching and seams is the ultimate quality test of how to know loose threads and how the garment has been put together. Do consider that your garment will be on your body and will be moved, like you're going to lift your hands, you're going to be stepping over things, you're going to take a wider step. And you don't want that tension to fall apart and come undone. Slightly pull on the seams and just see if anything is unraveling, anything is coming apart, or it's a weaker construction of the garments. High-end clothing does tend to have either a French seam or a double stitch. Is it finished with an overlock? Look at the construction and the finishing of the garment. That is a giveaway how the garment has been constructed, and if the manufacturer had time to finish those garments with care, or they were rushed into a quicker finish and just maximizing on the profit of finishing the garment. Things to avoid, like unraveling stitches, loose threads, raw edges. If there are multiple and throughout the garment in store, then a lot of high-end brands do tend to cut those threads out. However, if it's high street, sometimes they don't have the resources to have somebody quality check each garment. I don't have a problem buying a garment that has 1 or 2 threads. However, if there's multiple, I try to avoid anything like that because it just gives me extra work. If the garment already has a few threads undone or a few buttons that are come unloose, just imagine what would look like after a few washes. Number 4, look for zippers, buttons, and linings. These are small details that have big clues. Things to consider: look at metal zips over plastic zips. Plastic zips, the teeth do tend to come undone a lot quicker than the metal ones. Things that should always have a lining should be blazers, coats, and dresses, just because they hold their shapes a lot better. The lining should be of a high quality. Nothing should be snugging on a different point of the garment, and it should be matching in a similar color or pattern. When I see a dress that is fully lined and it doesn't stop at your thighs, that's already a good sign, because when you hit the light in the summer, you can see where the lining has ended, and it could look a little bit cheaper. It could look like they're trying to cut corners because that could be another half a meter or a meter of lining that they're trying to save and cut costs. So I always look for dresses that are fully lined or that I'm willing to wear something underneath to protect my legs and to also make it look a bit more high end. I try to avoid things that are unlined, such as jackets or coats, just because when you move your shoulders or you move your back or you tend to have a lot of movement, then things move apart, the seams are not as strong, and they don't tend to last as long. And I always like to have a lot of structure in my jackets and my coats. Test this. If you are buying a pair of trousers or anything that has a zip, I would recommend to close and open the zip a few times just to see how smooth it is. It should be buttery smooth as you run your zip up and down. There shouldn't be no snugs and no fabric should be caught in the zip. If it sticks, maybe you should skip the garment or try a different garment. Quality clothing always keeps its shape. Try to scrunch the fabric in my hands and just want to see if it's going to wrinkle, how long it takes to unwrinkle the fabric. Sometimes certain fabrics does hold the wrinkle a lot more, like a linen or like a cotton. So be mindful of the things that you do to try and scrunch up. But certain garments should not be holding a crunch. If it bounces back really well, then it's good quality clothing. However, do consider that linens do hold their wrinkle a lot more. Some polyesters don't hold any wrinkles, but some do. Check the pattern alignment on the seams as well as if it matches. If the patterns don't align or don't reflect one another and not symmetric, that's already a poor quality fabric. Sometimes certain things like lines can be matched, but if it's a complex pattern like flowers or geometrical shape, or any abstract shape, sometimes a little bit harder. So do keep in mind that sometimes you can match the pattern. There you have it. Now you know what to look for quality garments. I am going to make this into a series so you get to learn a lot more tips and tricks on what to look for when constructing a garment. Subscribe to more fashion hacks and budget-friendly tips on how to shop for quality garments because I'm going to turn this into a series, and if you want to learn more from a fashion designer that used to make wedding dresses, I sew my own clothes, then I'll tell you exactly what to look for when shopping on the high street. Did any of these tips surprise you and you think I've missed any? Give me a comment down below letting me know what things surprised you, and if you have any tips that you look for when shopping for garments, I'd love to know. Till next time, bye.